am doing extremely amazing. And without further ado, let us dive straight into today's tea. So, first of all, and quickly, let us talk about the tour, okay? We have seen a couple of posts shading Nicki Minaj saying that our tour is not going to be having giveaways, but a couple of hours just before the tour, we saw there was a partnership with iHeart, there was a partnership with several companies of giving people tickets. And people were like, okay, if you're sold out, which tickets are you now giving away? And given that you were bragging, saying that, well, you would never be out there giving out tickets, so where are these tickets coming from? But then again, it seems like they might have mastered the concept of seat filling. I'm not mad at them for that because it would have been embarrassing to see empty spots given how much of big talkers she and her friend are. However, it seems like people still were not interested because even after the offer of the giveaways, there is footage that is circulating on the internet and they are empty spots even after the giveaway. So I'm just like, people didn't even want the tickets for free. I mean, I don't know. So let me know in the comment section, you guys, did you see the tickets circulating in as far as hair performing is concerned? I mean, I am not surprised. I don't know what miracle people were expecting because if you saw her performance on SNL, you would have known that this was going to happen. I mean, she has never been a great performer and I'm not surprised, okay? I'm not gonna sit on here and try to say, oh my god, it was such a mess because I kind of was expecting something similar to this in as far as hair trying to rip off Gig City, very expected as well. And I do feel like some of the things are done intentionally to get you guys talking. And it seems like you guys fall for the bait all the time on Twitter. You're going back and forth with her fans saying, oh my god, you're copying Gig City. You guys were laughing at us for AI and all of these things. That's exactly why they do that. Because without you, no one will care. Without the Nicki Minaj comparison, no one cares. So, I mean, they intentionally do these things to make you talk. Because if you really think about it, since when did pink become her color? Did you see that entire pink AI video promo? That was intentional to get you talking. So even the set, like you guys. But that being said, what I saw people also talking about is the behind. And before you guys start coming for me and saying, why are you even covering? They're making fun of another woman's shape. Oh my God, body shaming, this and that. Yeah, people are talking about that behind. And personally, I do feel like it's also the fault of the stylist because if she's going to be wearing something revealing of her behind, the least she could have done is wear some socks that do support her behind. Because I do not understand the reason of just putting mesh on hair when you know this is what the behind is looking like. Put on some pantyhose, some support pantyhose or something like that. Okay, because it's not cute when pictures are now circulating and they are literally dance, BBL, liposuction, dance. Like, we don't need to see that. Why do you intentionally give your enemies ammunition? I don't understand. And before you fake activists, fake feminists come for me, this is Wakanda. This isn't Animal Farm, okay? No animal is more equal than the other. Before you start lecturing me about women empowerment and all of these things, I will cover when people talk about her behind. And do you know the reason why people do that? Because she herself is very comfortable body shaming others. She is the same person that was body shaming Paris on Twitter. The same person that was calling Nicki Minaj arms. And I didn't see any of you priests coming to preach in my comment section when she was doing that. I didn't see any of you going underneath her post about calling Nicki Minaj arms. I didn't see you going there and preaching. I didn't see you going power to you or feminism or don't woman to woman don't. I never saw any of you doing that. But somehow when it comes to hair, all of a sudden you guys remember women empowerment, activists, all of this and that. But we don't see the same preaching when she's doing that to others. So please, if you had already commented something along the lines of body empowerment, this and this from a woman to a woman, go and delete your comment. Go and delete your comment. Unless you can show me that when she called Nicki Minaj arms, you were calling her out also. Unless you show me that you were also defending Nicki Minaj when she was out there body shaming her after she gave birth. If you cannot give me proof that you were being still an activist, don't even come in my comment section with your performative activism. I don't want to see it. That that being said, let us move on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. Let us talk about Nicki Minaj. So it seems like she is back on Twitter. Somebody tweeted something that she agreed with, and it was about how fishy fraudulent nation moves and how people can no longer ignore, the fact that there is some weird stuff going on. This person was basically highlighting how the company was suing over insurance policy linked to the late manager of Maroon 5. And so Nicki Minaj responded to that with just a praying emoji. And honestly speaking, I do feel like when things get to this point, the truth is about to come out because you can only pretend for so long. Even if the likes of Charlamagne, the likes of Black Media like to act like nothing is happening, every dog has its day, and no person is an exception. And I feel like at this point, slowly people are beginning to realize the kind of person that Brother Billionaire is. And I also saw another video where I think it was Ray Daniels who was talking about how doing business with Brother Billionaire would never benefit you as the artist. It always ends up benefiting him. And this is somebody who used to work in the industry. But then the crazy thing about it is you see new people being signed to him. And I'm like, you guys, why do you not listen when people give you advice, especially the people who work in this industry and the people who are behind the scenes, like the ex executives? Listen when they, tell you. But people don't learn. Now Uzi is out here crying. Crying because of what they're doing to him behind the scenes. But anyway, I'm truly interested to see how all of this is going to end because one thing that I know is God cannot be mocked, okay? That being said, let us move on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. Still talking about, Advovo BBL. I should have spoken about this. It seems like Stefan is out there moving on from his loss when it comes to the Super Bowl. And, he had a couple of interesting pictures on his Instagram. And it seems like, he was consoling himself for the loss. I'm not sure if he's just referring to the loss of the game or it's also the loss of losing Advovo BBL. I do not know now because it was a lot of, self-motivational quotes. Oh, it's not the end of the road. Oh, I can do this. And then he also posted a picture of himself and his son, with the other baby mama, the pretty girl, the pretty one. Yeah. And of course, people started analyzing that entire post, saying that oftentimes you can tell how a man feels about, his baby mama, but by how he treats the child. So I don't know, you guys. I feel like the fact that he's not posting at Vovo BBL's child with him doesn't necessarily mean that, he doesn't like at Vovo or anything like that. I do feel like, she is a public figure, she is a celebrity, and oftentimes, celebrities, it's a huge thing when they finally reveal the faces of their babies. So I don't think that him not posting the baby means that he doesn't love the baby or anything, or the mom. If anything, there's actually a post where he was, he also posted on the same post a video where, that's saying that, well, don't let anyone trick you out of your sport because as soon as you move away from your sport, they're handing in application letters. So people were like, okay, which spot is this? Is Offset already handing in application letters to come through? Or is there another person behind the scenes who is already wanting to be with, the Transformer, given that they are seemingly not together anymore? Is there another candidate that already wants to move on with her? And I do hope that it's not a situation where after the breakup or after they had a fight, she went to him and was like, look, this person is also in my DM. I can move on with them. You know how she was moving when when she broke up with Offset? Because indeed, if she's doing something like this, that would just tell me that nothing is ever going to make her learn. Because if you know men are going to men, okay? They will literally hit you up, in your DMs. It doesn't necessarily mean that they want anything serious with you. Case in point, what just happened to her and the footballer. So I don't know, you guys. Let me know in the comment section what you think about all this drama between Advovo and of course Stefan. And do you think that he got back together with the other baby mama? And what do you think he was referring to about being tricked out of his sport? Anyway, let's move on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. Let's talk about Carisha. It seems like she is letting us know that her song is actually going to be coming out. Apparently, it's called Tea Something. Let me look. Okay, it's called Tea Time. And it's going to be dropping next Friday on February 20th. And is that when the finger's touching? Is that the song? Is that the one that's called Tea Time? Or is it the Chanel one? Which one? But all I can say is, from the look of things, female rap as a genre, it's a mess. It's a mess. Okay, it has been over politicized to the point where it's not fun anymore. And I do feel like when they decided to make one woman the enemy of everyone for being a competitive person, that's what basically annihilated the whole genre. Because Generally, rap is very competitive, and competitive in terms of, the lyrical content and everything. And when they decided to take that out of, the equation, when they decided to take out the fact that is someone a good lyricist, can someone perform, can someone actually rap, when they made it and when they turned it into a popularity contest, or like a contest of who can be more rowdy and who can throw their behind more than the other and who can talk about their hoo-ha shamelessly. That's what it became, it came down to who can be more vulgar than the other. And when it comes down to it, anyone can become vulgar. Anyone can talk about their hoo-ha. There is no special talent when it comes to that. So they basically removed the barrier to entry. Now every person feels like they can do this. And that's how the genre unfortunately passed away. When they held the funeral and for Nicki Minaj, and they thought, this is them laying her to rest and all of it was weird. They didn't realize that they were saying RIP to the genre as a whole because it's not respectable anymore. you know and it's sad, really, for as a lover of the genre. I kind of, like I always say on this channel, it's the poetry part of it that's interesting to me. It's the intelligence when it comes to the lyrical content of of the songs that really made me fall in love with this genre. And to see that it's not there anymore is just rather sad. But it is what it is, and I guess you guys have Brother Billionaire, The Title Swindler, and Atlantic to thank for it. That being said, let's move on to the final thing that we're going to be talking about. Like I said, I never truly thought that in 2026 I would be saying Benzino, well done. Neck or no neck, Benzino has the guts that a lot of people, a lot of your favorite rappers do not have. The guts to call a spade a spade. Because he is out there talking about the Super Bowl and NFL and how it doesn't need to be heavily politicized the way it is, and how sports should be sport and politics should be politics. And this is the same way. You see how he ended up ruining female rap? Did you see what he did with that? That's exactly what he's going to do to this sport if he continues like this. Because there are people who genuinely do care for the sport, but the moment you start doing things like this, you're being divisive. You are making people lose interest. People who are actual true fans will pull away, the same way that female rap fans pulled away from the genre when it became like this. People are not interested anymore. Because here's the thing. People don't understand that on Twitter we all can tweet, okay? On the internet we all can give opinions about any and everything, even things that we don't even care for like that. I could literally see a hockey situation being talked about, and it's possible for me to say, oh, actually, that player makes sense. I like that player. But do you think that I'm going to buy a ticket to a hockey game? No, because I actually don't care for hockey. Because typing is easy. I'm just saying these things because it's the internet. It's free. And it's the same concept that he didn't learn when it comes to female rap. A lot of people that do comment on these female rappers and say, we hate Nicki Minaj, we are anti-Nicki Minaj, we are pro-Megan, we are pro this female rapper. When it comes down to the buying, none of them are spending a dime on any tour ticket or any album. That's why you realize that you see so much hate for certain people online. But then when they drop their albums, when they go on tour, everything is sold out. And you're like, what's going on? It's because you guys are putting value in the opinions of people who actually do not care for these things. I'm here talking about the NFL, talking about the Super Bowl. Oh my God, this and that. Am I a football fan like that? No. Am I happy that, Bad Bunny was saying, Ice should stop, or was throwing subliminals at Ice? Absolutely. So am I going to hype Bad Bunny's performance because it was serving my purpose? Absolutely. But does it mean that I'm going to be supporting the Super Bowl and I'm going to be attending? Absolutely not. So the entertainment is good, but there are people who genuinely do care for sport, and they don't really want to see you doing your politics and all of these things on a sports platform. Let sport be sport. If there's anything that unifies people, it is sport and music. And you've ruined both. Music really does bring people together. It shouldn't be about you're supporting who you're supporting. It should just be music. And you take away from that unity, you take away by being divisive. Not every platform, not every place really has to be this massive political statement. It's not necessary. And I am with Benzino on this. Really. Imagine if your favorite rapper right now, if Nicki Minaj is on tour, right? You are a Democrat. She goes on tour and she starts screaming, pro-Trump, I support Trump, on tour, in a performance. Do you think that do you see how different it is? This woman went on a political platform where they were doing donations and they were talking politics. And those, accounts, those Trump accounts and stuff, she did it there. You never saw her going on tour and shouting, I MAGA, I support Trump. It's not a thing if you have common sense, because you do understand that you don't want to make other people uncomfortable. It's logical that a lot of Nicki Minaj fans are Democrats, or at least were Democrats, because actually I've seen that a lot of them, after seeing how Democrats were treating their favorite, they're switching. But a lot of them at some point were Democrats, right? So common sense would tell her that in a performance, I'm not going to be shouting about this. In as much as I like this political party, this isn't the place for that. But alas, not the title swindler, not brother billionaire. Let me insert what Benzino had to say, and then I don't think that I'm going to be coming back after that. But thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for making it this far. If you have not already, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button and do turn on the notification bell so that you will be notified each and every time that I post. Until my next one, see you.
What's good, y'all? So look. First of all, my Patriots lost, so that's one thing. But the Super Bowl, I think I'm going to say it. I'm going to say what everybody else is scared to say. It might be time to replace Jay-Z for the entertainment. It's not working, man. I'm speaking as a football fan, not necessarily from hip-hop. As a football fan, Bad Bunny's performance, my grandmother, rest in peace to Eloisa Torres, Puerto Rican, from Guanabo. Bad Bunny's performance just didn't match up with NFL football. But he's not the only one. I felt that way with The Weeknd. Rihanna is Rihanna, so it's hard to really say anything about Rihanna because she's so big, but you gotta understand, football is an aggressive, violent sport. And if you're gonna match music or the halftime show, you should definitely match the energy of the sport. I know Bad Bunny's music and energy just doesn't match NFL. It just doesn't. And I get it. As dope as Bad Bunny is in his songs, they just don't match the energy of the NFL. And I think if Jay-Z doesn't start getting advice from people, just from the sports world, then I don't know, man. I just feel like the entertainment since he's had it has just been, it's just too hip hop and R&B. And the Bad Bunny thing just came way out of left field. It just didn't match, man. And I get it. They want to get the streams from all the Latino people around the world, but this is football. This is sports. We can't worry about that. The halftime show needs to represent everybody watching. Everybody. And it would be the same for country western. I don't believe country western matches football's energy either. I believe rock music and real aggressive hip-hop, or any type of aggressive music, even symphony type music, we need to match the energy of the NFL. That's number one. Number two, we got to stop this celebrity, trying to infuse celebrity with that. First it was Taylor Swift, now it's Cardi B. Nothing against Taylor Swift and Cardi B. They're both amazing artists, women, but they don't belong in the NFL. They just don't. It's like you're distracting from the sport. First it was Taylor Swift, and it was like, okay, we got over that. Kansas City didn't get to the Super Bowl, thank God, so we didn't have to see her no more. But Cardi B, come on, man. All that extra drama and gossip and stuff with her and Stephon Diggs and the baby's mother, and watching her get drunk, interviewing, and that's not it, man. That don't match the energy of it. Sports is sports. Let us have our sports, bro. Let sports be sports. And leave all that other shit over here, man. It just don't match. I'm talking for all the real football heads across the world. We're not with that shit. All right? We're not with that shit. Find an artist that matches the energy for the halftime show, and leave all the celebrity women and relationships and all this gossip and bullshit. Leave all that out of it. We don't want it. Tell me what you...
a quick insert. It seems like when I was editing, BIA was out there throwing some major shade to the point where some of Advovo BBL fans were not feeling it. So you guys spoke about the videos that were circulating about the behind of Advovo BBL and the dance and everything, everything that was going on behind her body. And BIA said, "Life is too good, y'all. Be blessed." And then she laughed. So I guess her fans really thought that automatically BIA was laughing about either that or the performance, because some people were saying that her performance was trash. And one of her fans decided to come for BIA, and they said, "Name 5 BIA songs G pointed to your head." And then they said hashtag Little Miss Drama Tour, Cardi B, Pretty and Petty. And then BIA responded and said, "Can you name someone with more baby mamas than receiving yads?" I can, and I know that. You know what? Never mind. And I'm like, BIA, you don't need to do this. This girl is already, through enough. Cut her some slack, okay? Let me know in the comment section, you guys, what you think about BIA's clap back. Do you think that Advovo BBL is going to come on the timeline crashing out? I absolutely personally think that she's going to milk the behind out of this beef with BIA, because currently she needs all forms of attention, and she will gladly welcome this coming from BIA. I promise you, she knows that BIA is probably not going to exchange hands with her, and she's going to say something. It's either she's going to say something on Twitter, or on her next show, she's going to be screaming, "Oh, BIA this," to get some viral moments. And I wish BIA knew